Have you ever looked closely at the edge of a car windscreen, the part nearest the frame, and noticed a fading pattern of small black dots? They are not random. They form a deliberate gradient, dense at the edge, and gradually thinning toward the center of the glass, present on essentially every windscreen made in recent decades. You assumed they were decorative, or perhaps something to do with heat. They are neither. That pattern exists to protect a chemical bond that is, quietly, one of the most important safety components in your entire vehicle. For most of automotive history, windscreens sat in a rubber gasket, mechanically held in place rather than chemically bonded to the car's frame. This changed with a method called direct glazing, in which the windscreen is bonded permanently to the body using a polyurethane adhesive applied around the glass perimeter. This adhesive does far more than keep rain out. In a frontal collision, a securely bonded windscreen contributes to the structural rigidity of the roof, and a deploying passenger airbag often relies on the windscreen staying in place to provide a surface it can push against. A poorly bonded windscreen is a safety failure waiting to happen. But here's the surprising truth. Polyurethane adhesive degrades rapidly under ultraviolet exposure. Left unprotected, sunlight passing through clear glass would break down the bond exactly where it is needed most. The black dot pattern, technically called a frit, is a ceramic enamel fired permanently into the glass during manufacturing, and its job is to block enough ultraviolet light to keep the adhesive beneath it intact for the working life of the vehicle. Think of it like sunscreen applied specifically along a scar that would otherwise reopen under UV exposure. The rest of the skin doesn't need the same protection. Only the vulnerable seam does. The frit follows the exact same logic, concentrated densely where the adhesive sits and fading away toward the center of the glass, where no adhesive exists and no protection is needed. So if the frit is purely functional, why does it appear as a gradient of dots rather than a single solid band? The answer, as is often the case in manufacturing, comes down to a second, unrelated problem the same pattern happens to solve. Automated robotic arms apply the adhesive bead during assembly, and these robots rely on optical sensors to track the glass edge precisely as they move. A perfectly transparent, featureless edge gives the sensor nothing to track against. The dot gradient, originally added purely for UV protection, turned out to provide exactly the visual reference points the assembly robots needed to follow the glass edge accurately at speed. A single solution ended up serving two completely separate engineering requirements, one chemical and one robotic, without either department necessarily having designed for the other. The gradient pattern, fading rather than ending abruptly, exists for cosmetic reasons within an otherwise unglamorous engineering decision. A hard-edged band of black dots would be visually jarring from inside the car. The gradual fade blends the frit into the transparent glass smoothly enough that most drivers, for their entire lives, never consciously register it at all. So, the next time you glance past the edge of your windscreen, you will know that the dots you are looking at are not decoration and not solar control. They are a UV shield protecting an adhesive bond your airbag system depends on, doing a second job for the robot that built your car, fading into invisibility specifically so you would never have to think about either.